Baku is the fastest least circuit in the world, but I didn't think we were initially taking flight at the Alpi lava got mechanical failure. Something crazy happened. That is Cadillac underneath him. Absolutely seed in a mid-pack.
And a warm welcome here ahead of qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Normally these streets are lined with vehicles, it's non-stop traffic jams, but today the roads are closed to everyone except the best drivers in the world. It's time for qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
We now tracking on the final run of the qualifying. As you can see, we already done this triple run, and we are currently P20, so we need to really excel in this final run, which is something that Miyata has to be able to do over the course of this season. But can he carry on with that target momentum for this Baku qualifying? We have had some struggle previously, and we are hoping to chase you out for this final run. 7 tenths up, nearly 8 tenths up. We're going faster than before, which is good, but where are we gonna be at the traction? Top the line. P16 again. Piastri is on pole, looking to try and lean them himself and get the lead back in the championship with Charles Leclerc second, Barnard in third, and Russell, who's in ninth, and the teammate of Russell is Miyata, who's down P16. 20.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Ollie Bearman completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Sainz, Esteban Ocon, and Piastri, Tsunoda, Colapinto, Russell, and Isack Hadjar. For sure, Antonelli, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Zagazzetta. Crawford, Miyata, Nicholas Soloff, and Jack Doohan. Tramnitz, Barnard, Lawson, and Zane Maloney rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right, we're getting ready to crack on to the Baku Grand Prix. Let's see how we do. Hopefully we do a pretty good job. As we now tracking on to the 5 race low for the Baku Grand Prix. What can everybody do as it now lights out and away we go with Ollie Bearman, who's got off a fantastic with Charles Leclerc behind in second place. Carlos Sainz currently in third, and we now already got going. We Russell in P9, we've got some moves being made. We've got Miyata, who tried to attempt an overtake, but he now got up side by side with Nicola Tolov. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get a pass. And on board with the Attiello, who's watching 2 of the drivers in front of him having a battle, and Attiello sneaked down the inside of Hadjar and moved up into P11 and behind. We got Taylor Barnard, who's watching Tim Tradley, making a move on to Jack Doohan, but didn't quite get a par. And we also on board with Doohan, who's seen up Miyata, overtaking Nicola Tolov to move into P16. As we now far forward to the final straight of the sector row. Ollie Bearman is now heading towards the lap 2 with quite a comfortable pace that he got going for this weekend. Very impressed with Ollie Bearman's performances, and we now got Colapinto, who's now attacking Esteban Ocon, and behind Russell is also attacking Yuki Tsunoda, and Colapinto move into P6, Russell is in P8, and Yuki's in P9, and here's a replay of the race start with Miyata, who we've seen having a bit of a okay moment, got off quite nicely and he's gone down the inside, but of course being on the inside means you're going to lose a lot of time as it is so tight hard to get through. And then going to turn 2, he's trying to get the Alpine machine told off, didn't look at the massive wheel spin and a snap of oversteered moment, and he managed to save it, and he also overtook Taylor later on, which is very positive to see Miyata pull that off as he went a little bit deep, which is not going to help it taste, but he's still remaining ahead of Taylor, who by the way been overtaken by Torford, and we got Danny Tarr with the metallic failure as they got smoke coming out of the tar and trying to avoid it slightly, and we got Barnard, Taylor Barnard crash, into the LP of Danny Tarr. Oh, bloody hell, and that brought out, I'm going for safety car, and that gave everybody an opportunity to get in quickly to put a new tyre on, and that pretty much from Miyata all the way down to the bottom of the order. But well, are we going to come out with the other tumbling? That is what we want to find out. Of course, we hope to move up, obviously, and here's a replay of Taylor Barnard crashing into Danny Tarr, and this is how high speed and expected, and he even jumped over the Cadillac driver. Absolutely mental shit going on here, and of course we now still in safety car failure, and Miyata had jumped ahead of Bortoletto. But here's the reason why. There's a replay for that. Bortoletto has been double stacked, so Eugene Tanola had to get going for Bortoletto to get in, but Eugene had a bit of a slow one. The Bortoletto had the wood end of it, and he's gonna come out. We're about to just get going again. Miyata and all the other drivers behind them, so that's obviously unfortunate for Bortoletto, and now safety car coming in with Franco Tolopito leading the Baku, but he hadn't pitted, that he will need to pit at some point, so this is for sure. And while behind them is Ollie Behrman, who seemed to be the favourite contender to win the Baku Grand Prix, as he had a very good start of the night, and of course the safety car happening, but Behrman is still in the lead tactically as long as the top two come in, and Behrman will be taking the lead of the night, and we are going down the order. We've got Piatli, who's chasing after Charles Leclerc. There will be some move being made, and speaking of that, going into lap 6, we now got Ollie Behrman now making a move on this year for sure, and Charles Leclerc won't get involved, as we see the live timing of Charles Leclerc, as it now looking to make a move on this for sure, and behind we got Carlos Sainz who's in fight with Lando Norris, and Charles Leclerc had part this for sure, leaving Piatli with a chance to get this for sure in the next corner. What can Piatli do? On the inside, Piatli goes through as he does, and they're giving each other a space. And it's Piatli gonna get ahead. Yes, he is. Oh, the Piatli gets ahead of this for sure, and now going to lap 6 toward the lap 7. Timiatielli has overtaken for sure, and this for sure is now going to have a slightly slugger all because of the tyre, and of course the engine and the upgrade being so different compared to Mercedes. And we're not sure about overtaking Isack Hadjar, so I'm not sure if finally on the track to shorten point, which is really good to see, but not in a place where we want him to be. And Behrman had now overtaken Colapito going to lap 8, and behind Ocon has overtaken Richard, and it seems like Richard is going to start struggling quite a lot, and Miyata is chasing after Jack D1, and we are hoping to get through quickly and join the party. As you can see in front of D1, there's the big pack being formed, and that's going to help Miyata at Miyata. He's now looking to make a move on Jack D1 on the inside. To Miyata make it do heat up, made the contact with D1 as he's gone quite deep, and that is not good, but Miyata still remains ahead of D1 after the overtake, who that's solid, are now on board with Yuji Tsunoda, who now chasing after Nisha for sure, as Ocon has started pulling away through the capital section, and Ocon got a big chance short and point, and there's the smoke. Oh no, it's at the barn. It's at the barn, Ocon with a mechanical failure. That is so unfortunate on track to short and point and now he is out, and that's driven Miyata up the P12 while Oton teammate D1 is still in the lane, chasing after Miyata, though obviously Miyata expect to see some battle, and we got the Williams spin, Hadjar spin, and Miyata hit into Hadjar and the wall, and it's gone back on the track. Oh my god, what is happening? Wow. Wow. Here's a replay of Hadjar with what happened at the onboard. Miyata, you can see Hadjar spin. Miyata had the split second to react the way he did. The other got low lap. This is about 90%. Yeah, let's do for stop tire. Let's do for stop tire.
Back on track. Let's make
Are we now ready for the 5 red line on the red flag? Restart here at Baku as we now get the going with Ollie Behrman still in the lead, and we've got about 4 laps to go, and Qualifier is behind with a perfect opportunity to finish on a podium without needing to make any pit stop. The bit brain by the Williams and Miyata now making a move on Jack Dewar as it's now behind. In P12, obviously with Miyata making a mistake, he won't try to get the pace back and shorten podium at the on the stop tyre. Down the inside, Lugo Miyata, he gets up into P11 and start his chase down. The Carlos side and Duran being left behind, where he can't really do much about it at the on the tyre that is going to be told for the first 2 laps or so, and we're now heading into lap 11. Behrman is still leading with Qualifier is now having a by Charles Leclerc. Piastri at the end having a battle as they now join side by side at the end to get ahead of the Piastri or not. A short tyre, 30 hard tyre, and it's at the end now up into P4, and Piastri got the other. He's going to try to get back, and we got Nisha for sure making it lean wide at the end. He's still the main ahead, but Nisha for sure nearly ended hitting me at the back down, allowing Piastri to wow as we now heading into lap 12. Charles Leclerc calmly overtaken Qualifier, and there's a live timing with more fighting going on as we now got Nisha for sure battling with UT Sonona at UT Sonona moved up into P6, a bit opportunity for short to try and take the play from Nisha for sure, and now with Ollie Behrman is now starting the final lap. He is looking for a win, and that can happen, but what can Charles Leclerc do in this final lap as we now got some action going on land another great for the double part on Nisha for sure as it now joins side by side with short Northwell at Miyata over to Taylor side. Northwell is still in the battle with Lando Norris, and Lando Norris has got ahead of short Northwell. Can Northwell get back there on Lando or not? Lando go defensive and Northwell to do nothing. Miyata drawn down the inside and overtook Nisha to move up into P0, and Taylor side is going for follow the as it's drawn down the outside to overtake Nisha. Oh my god, we are seeing a fantastic overtaking going on in this final lap. Lando double overtake on Northwell and Nisha. Miyata overtaking Nisha. Carlos side overtaking Nisha, and Nisha goes down into P11. Absolute massive lot for sure, and now for our top there, Qualifier is in P3 with Charles Leclerc looking to finish P2 as it's not close enough for the other, and Behrman he is now trying to finally take a historic win for himself. Behrman, who has done a fantastic job in this way, and he's now trying to claim his first victory of the season as it now crossed the line to win the Baku Grand Prix. Behrman wins for the first time in ever, I think. We're not going to tell it. P9 still took the result. Still took the result.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these three have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. And proving that he's smarter than the average Bearman, Ollie Bearman takes top spot.
And now we're heading over to the Singapore Open. The vibe has changed. It's now at night time in the Marina Bay Circuit as we now attacked in the first flying lap. What did Miyata do? Miyata made the mistake of forcing top the line with a P10, but dropping down into P22, and he now hoping to improve on his second flying lap. Oh bloody hell. He does not, unfortunately, and now we're putting on a brand new soft tyre, changing our fuel, and going on for one final run here at Singapore Open. Qualifying up, Miyata is tapping corner with the confidence now, as it now taking the turn 3, and it now got a chance to hope to put his car on the pole, what can he do as it now tapping with the second one on a purple sector, and that seemed a very positive one for Miyata as it now closing down to Manoni, and he did get some help with the slipstream, and that helping him to put up almost 2 seconds faster for this final lap, and it's now going down the final corner. Come on! Please be good. Yes! Much better! Much better! Nice work, Miyata!
Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Bortoletto, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Miyata, Tsunoda, Barnard and George Russell, Bearman, Maloney, Isack Hadjar and Lawson. For sure, Colapinto, Esteban Ocon and Jack Doohan, Soloff, Crawford, Zagazzetta and Tim Tramnitz rounds off the grid.
Alright, we now get ready to crack on to Singapore Open. Hopefully Miyata will do a fantastic job and hopefully score the top 5. And we're now waiting for the 5 red and light, and it's now away, and we go with Antielli, who's on the pole, has locked his place very quickly, and Lando Norris takes the lead, and Bortoletto is now attacking Miyata, and behind Charles Leclerc and Piastri are having a fight as Bortoletto going to move into second place with Kimi in third, Charles Leclerc in fourth, Piastri in fifth. Miyata and Carlos Sainz are having a battle, and Carlos Sainz of course is now ahead of Miyata. What can Miyata do as he attacks on the outside, going to Sweden Shire as Shire locked the play to use it owner, and behind Carlos, John Russell and Taylor Barnard of Tour, the man who had a massive crash in Baku with the Tour with Barnard, as it now tries to recover all of that and get some points shortly for the hat. For this return at Russell is in P10, and here is surprising result for this season so far between Russell 30 Miyata. They are 4-4 head-to-head in the quarterfinal, very equal between Miyata and Russell in the quarterfinal, and now on board with Lando Norris, who is already started pulling away from Bortoletto, the man who is now looking to extend more further in the lead of the championship. If he wins, there's only 2 more races to go with a spread in Sao Paulo, and then we might be seeing a 2-time world champion, and that is Lando Norris. And where is Piastri? Piastri with the man to do it, and he's fallen off twice slightly, and it now on board with Yuji Tsunoda, who now attacking Ritomo Miyata, of course. We both know the history between them both, and Charles Leclerc and Attieri are having a fight going side by side. Can Attieri defend against Charles Leclerc or not? And is Charles Leclerc gone newer ahead of Timmy Attieri, and Timmy is on a hard time with understanding why he hasn't got the grip to help him to push through, while Charles on the shop tire has got the advantage, and surprisingly everybody was on a very different strategy this weekend, and it's very nice to see that. Having now got up to Piatti into turn 1 on the inside of Timmy Attieri, Miyata watching everything, hoping for the right time to make a move at Piatti. He's going to be on the outside into the DR zone, and he's going to get the DR and show Miyata. Oh, Miyata with a massive snap, and that's going to put him behind Yuji Tsunoda. Oh no, a very big error for Miyata, but will Miyata attack? And looks like he does. He's going down the inside of Yuji Tsunoda and reclaim the P6. Fantastic racing for Miyata, a good opportunity he's taken for Yuji Tsunoda, and he's now going to be chasing after Timmy Attieri, as Attieri has lost sometimes the Piatti, which is very unfortunate for Attieri, but the hard tire is not coming to life just yet. At Miyata going down the outside into turn 1 and overtook Timmy Attieri, and Attieri now having to try and get the tire warm up and catch Miyata before it's too late. But of course, with a hard tire in this track tends to be underwhelming, but sometimes it's not. You need a lot on your side to make it work as you are in lap 6. The luck that I'm talking about is Miyata losing a bit of a time, and Attieri now attacking Ritomo Miyata and take the place of him, and Yuji Tsunoda is attacking Miyata, and Miyata clearly got a really rubbish pace now with the soft tyre side. They seem to be falling away, and that is not a good taste for him. And we're now heading into lap 8. Landonado is pulling away with the absolute ease, no issue whatsoever, and Piatti is also battling with Charles Leclerc, and to our surprise, Attieri boxing early this lap. He's on a hard tyre, he doesn't need the box just yet. Maybe he actually got an issue with the tyre. But it seems like we've now got more cars coming in, and now we are going to find out that we are just actually challenge for the top 5 with the tyre that he's going to put on, which has to be a medium tyre, and that would work out the best for him. And we are seeing it's a slow stop. It's a slow stop for Miyata, and he's going to get jumped. No, it's not. Miyata somehow stayed ahead of Toro's side, and Timmy Attieri opts to put on a medium tyre, which seems to be the best tyre going now. The Singapore at on board with Lawson, who hasn't boxed it just yet. We've got some more tyres coming in. Lando stayed out, Fortunato stayed out, Piatti, I believe, has also stayed out with Russell and Lawson and Manoni. And we've now got more coming in, going now. And we're on board with Miyata, who's now under the by Toro's side, and it seems that Miyata has actually lost some pace in the car right now, and that is not good. The top 5 is not happily for Miyata at me now. So I don't know, turn 1 and get ahead of Old Toy, and it is behind Misha for sure, who was behind Miyata the whole time. So definitely something going on with Miyata's car, and we're now heading into lap 10 with Landonado, who's boxing for soft tyre to put on with the 7 lap to go. And Piatti, who hadn't boxed it just yet, by the way, Fortunato in, Russell in, and there's the big child Russell to actually get a top 5 finish. We're going to find out at John Lawson stayed out, which allowed Dan Manoni to come in and put a new tyre on, and Miyata is still behind Misha for sure. What is going on with Ritomo Miyata? He's still got a pay, but he should seem to not to have it for the Singapore long plane, which is so unfortunate. Now seeing Russell in who's currently in P7, as it's now coming out, is it going to lose any more places, or not here behind Barnard, but it's going to be ahead of Behrman. It looks like he is, and Miyata is now overtaking Misha for sure. Very quickly get there and chase down Tolopito and Misha for sure. Shouldn't do much about it, but he did get the other. And now we're heading into lap 11 on board with Lando Norris leading the Singapore Norm front. Pierre is now behind in second place, and Lawson is boxing with Bortolato taking second from Pierre, and Pierre looked back into third. But he is ahead of Charles Leclerc, and a contact into turn. They are now. Charles Leclerc had to do a fan wing damage. Doesn't seem like it seemed okay for Charles Leclerc. Are we on board with Miyata, who's shooting P11? Can he catch Liam Lawson or not? As it now joins new turn 1 and 2. We can see Lawson in ahead of him, and now Miyata's closing up to make an overtake with the DR, which is good. But how are we ending up being P10 when we were having a chance to finish potentially P6 or P7? Absolutely disappointing result for Miyata as he should pass Liam Lawson for the P10. And we're now heading into lap 13 with Ollie Behrman on Taylor Barnard. Going down the inside, Behrman to the try to get the move done. We got the live timing with Charles Leclerc attacking Gabby Bortolato, and we are seeing Charles try to get the second place as they're done side by side, and so it Behrman and Taylor Barnard, and Behrman get ahead of Taylor Barnard, and Bortolato look behind in the third place, giving a PR the opportunity to try to get Gabby Bortolato for the P, and that opportunity has came going into lap 15. Pierre is now attacking Bortolato, and Bortolato got nothing to help him. Watching Pierre do Bortolato try to squeeze, but Pierre is being confident. Australian driver going down the inside and try to get the third place of Bortolato. Can he do it or not? As it now John do, and that is a fantastic work from the Australian driver of the PR. Bortolato look behind in the P4, and Barnard is now under the by short, Marshall, and shown with Franco Tolopito. But there's the three-way fight for the P7, and that's going to be exciting to watch. As we now on board with Lando, who already began the final lap absolute dominant fashion. And Lando Norris 15 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc, who's in second place. With the PR behind in third, Bortolato in fourth, Adriani in fifth, Behrman in sixth. And it has been a fantastic race for the top five, but the race is still not over. Anything could happen. I'm on board with Barnard, who now going to be under the by short north, short north, maybe make a move or not. Is he looking for an inside? No, he doesn't. Tolopito waiting for opportunity, and Taylor Barnard spun, and Franco Tolopito made the contact with Taylor Barnard, and here comes Miyata. Will he take both of them? Yes, he does. Miyata move up 2 more places than to Joshua, and Taylor Barnard did nothing that Joshua had done. It took Taylor Barnard blocking short Joshua, and Miyata just run down to Podium. I'll take those 2 places. Thank you so much. And he's now in P8. What an absolute seed are we seeing here for the Singapore Norm front. Miyata is still not done. He's got Lawson up his dear bot, which Lawson do, and we're now on board with Lando Norris, who's done a fantastic job, and it now comes down to the final quarter to win the Singapore Norm front, and Charles Leclerc is finishing second place. Pierre was closing down, but there's just not enough lap to go by, and Charles is now going to take second place, and Pierre takes third, and Lando is descending further in the championship lead. And we on board with Miyata, who's still yet topped the line, and it's got Liam Lawson with the DR. What can Lawson do? Can he catch Miyata or not? It's sudden there, still overtaking happening here, but of course that has not happened. Miyata with the Bantu dip from Russell and Barnard. The mistake with Ritomo Miyata to finish P8 and it's going to top the line with a fantastic finish. Unfortunately, didn't get top 5. But things had happened. Everything just went to butt with our hydraulic setup. Don't know what happened, let's be honest.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins. It's what every driver imagines when they start out on their long road towards Formula One. And for our lucky 3 today, here's the podium waiting for them. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today.
Well done to Lando Norris for a dominant display. But there's still a poor run from Charles Leclerc, shutting P8 in 3rd and Russell finishing dead last. And the championship is now being further away for P8 with 19 points behind Lando Norris, and McLaren has won the Construction Championship. Wow, what a season we have so far. There's 2 more races to go with the sprint in Sao Paulo. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe and make the video to do well, be very appreciated, and peace out.